Did you know that we know what the center of our galaxy smells like?
How do you know these things?
This is a tough place for sensitive people, but we need them badly.
So let's talk about this elephant in the room, aging. It's a topic that a lot of people, especially in Western cultures, don't really like to talk about very much. We especially don't like to admit our age or admit when we're over the age of 30. And this is largely because a lot of value and importance gets placed on youthfulness, like youthful energy, youthful beauty, youthful innocence. And there's almost like this shame if you're older than a certain age that you're not worth anything anymore. On the most basic level, chronophobia is the fear of the passing of time. Chronos means time, and phobia means aversion to. That's ancient Greek. But more accurately, the correct term would be Jurassicophobia. And that's not to be confused with Jurassic Park. It's Jurassico, which is Jerus, meaning old, and phobia, again, meaning aversion to. So the aversion to being old. And just for fun, the Latin term for being old is senescence, not to be confused with evanescence. And it's really a shame because in many cases, people who do have more life experience do have wisdom and lessons that they can share with us. And so intergenerational interactions and learning are very important. And indigenous cultures understand this, and they have very good connections between generations. But in Western society, which is kind of descended from old European society, that's not so much the case. It's more like individualistic and more, youth is prized and valuable, and when you get older, you're kind of pushed to the side. But if you ask some people, they consider it a gift to get to grow old. They consider it a privilege to have that wisdom and to have that time. That's a great way to look at it. But if that's not how you look at it, maybe not yet anyways, I've recently found a new, fun and creative way to think about age, and I'm here to share that with you. Oh, look, it's Learn a Clock. So, what's this fun thing that I found? Well, you turn your age into a musical note, which is why I'm sitting here at my piano. Every musical note is measured in hertz. If you think of every day that you've been alive in your life as 1 hertz, if you wanted to go to 1 month exactly, you'd be 30 hertz, and that would be a B0. If you wanted to jump a little bit to 6 months, that would be an F sharp 3. Then you think 365 days is 1 year, so a 1-year-old person is 365 hertz old. 365 hertz works out to an F sharp 4, which is that note. If you're 2 years old, you're going to be 730 hertz, or 730 days old, and that would be a G5. So just a little bit over an octave higher. 3 years old would be 1095 hertz, which works out to a D6. As you can see, recording separately here, you can see the top level of my piano here. You can see I've got these numbers bunched up here because you've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and they get closer and closer together as time goes on. So 10 years old would be 3,652 hertz or days, and that would be an A sharp 7, which is so high, it's actually kind of hard to hear. I'm going to switch to strings. That might hurt your ears, I apologize. And then the very next note, which is a B7, that is your 11 years old, or 4,017 hertz. Now, the thing with the piano, as I said, it goes from A0 up to a C8. It's the highest note on here. And that is actually, that's where it cuts off. You can't go past 11 because they're not on the piano. I can't play those notes here, and I can't sing them either. They're too high. But I can tell you that 20 years old would be 7,305 hertz, which works out to an A8. 30 years old would be 10,957 hertz, which works out to an F9. Age 40, which would be 14,610 hertz, works out to an A sharp 9. 42, for you Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy fans, is still going to be A sharp 9. And this is because, and we look at my little reference chart here that I made for the corresponding notes in each frequency that they are, when you get up to the point of A9 and above, you're looking at 900 hertz between each semitone change. So from A9 to A sharp 9 is approximately 900 hertz, but then to get up to B9, you're going up another 900 hertz. But in terms of the years and how many days are in a year, because every year is only 365 days, or 366 for leap years, it takes 3 years essentially to get each semitone increase at that point. So again, I got up to 40 and then 42 for the Hitchhiker's Guide reference. So 50-year-olds have been, for a person who is exactly 50 years old, you would have been alive for 18,262 days, and the corresponding hertz of that works out to a D10, which again is beyond the upper limit of the piano. And for someone who is exactly 60 years old, you would have lived for 21,915 days. That works out to an E10. Now, you might not know this, maybe you do. Human hearing ranges from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. So 60-year-olds, maybe you can't hear us, but we definitely can't hear you either. At least your age. We can't hear your age. I'm not going beyond 60 for this video because this is just to illustrate the concept for you. This is something that I didn't even know was here. I have been a musician for over 2 decades, and I had no idea about this until recently. I've been doing a lot of research and learning and finding all kinds of fun things, including learning about, Jurassicophobia. But as a musician, I find this kind of interesting. And if you feel comfortable doing so, please feel free to leave a comment and drop the note of your age. And other people, see if we can guess it. Or not so much guess at the charts there, but you know what I mean. I'm Lacey, the Sensory Nerd. Thanks for watching and learning with me.